Hey guys, it's Marvin here. Today I want to talk to you about moving from the common curse that most high achieving people face, is that for just being busy but not really productive, to being purposeful and effective, and the key things you could do to get to that point. One of the common problems that creates this sense of busyness is that a lot of people put too much things to be focused on. And the key lesson here is that too much focus will equal no focus. The second common problem here that creates this busyness is that a lot of people are making gut-based decisions. And one of my mentors told me that GUT, G-U-T, stands for gave up thinking. This is when a lot of entrepreneurs would make decisions based 100% on their intuition. We want to move away from that. And then the third most common factor that creates busyness is that there's an emphasis on just the sheer amount of work, right? The more work we take on, the busier we are. The more busy we are, the more important or significant we are. Well, it's just going to make us burn out. And ultimately, it's going to make you feel busy yet unproductive. If we look at the flip side, what we want to move on is go from taking on too much to switching to the Pareto principle or the 80-20 principle, in that we want to focus on the 20% of the things that will create 80% of the difference in terms of the results. And we also, instead of just making gut-based decisions, we want to be clear on what we have to improve. So we want to combine intuition with data. So knowing your numbers is going to be key here. And then finally, we want to switch from emphasis to just the sheer amount of work to having a clear link between your work and your desired outcome. We want to know that the things we're working on has a direct and clear impact, significant impact on the results that we're after. So let's look at the 5 key principles on how you can achieve this. So the first key principle here is that we need to make sure that our goals are smart and fast. We need to make sure the goals are specific and measurable. We need to make sure that the goal's motivating. It is attainable in terms of, is it achievable, can it be done, and realistic, can I do it? We need to make sure that the goal is relevant. We need to have a context as to why this is important for the company, for the team, for the individual. And we need to make sure that the goal is trackable. We need to know where we're going to be tracking the progress and the results of the goal. We want to make sure our goals are fast, and fast goals are frequently discussed. We need to know when, how often we're going to be talking about the progress of the goal. We need to make sure the goal is ambitious, that it's a bit of a stretch for us. We want to sort of go for the gold medal here. We don't want to just settle for participation trophies. And then we want to make sure the goals are specific, as mentioned before, and transparent, and that they're visible everywhere. Think scoreboards in the world of sport. The next key principle we're going to be looking at would be to understand our drivers. We need to really know what drive the results. What are the KPIs? Or in other words, what are the critical drivers that will help us achieve the goals? We need to know how to do, what are the processes to get consistent results for these drivers, and are we making sure that we have the right people working on these drivers? The third principle is we need to be clear on picking our priorities. Now, there's going to be a lot of stuff that we need to fix in our business. What's the 20% that's going to move the needle the most for you? We talked about the 80-20 principle before. And number 4 would be play the game. Once we know what the objective is, once we know how to win the game, and once we know what to measure, we need to have space to play and figure out what's working on and not working based on the game that we're playing. And finally, we want to have a sustainable cadence. Here at Next Level, what we do with our clients is that we have a 6 weeks on and 2 weeks off cadence, where we spend basically in an 8-week cycle, 8 weeks working on the critical drivers to achieve our goals, and 6 weeks working on special new projects to improve our business, 2 weeks for a cool down period where we can focus on the KPIs, or we can reflect, refresh, and think about what's coming up for us. Hope you enjoyed the application of this, and see you next time. Take care.